Hi guys, it's me Chazza HD and welcome to the first reveal of 2019, and it is Haas's new rich energy inspired livery for 2019. And we are going to basically, in today's live stream, what we're going to do is we are going to analyze the livery, look at it, give our thoughts on it, and also look at the front wing, because it's just come out, guys, that even though almost all of the car is a 2018 car just with the new livery, the front wing is the 2019 front wing. So we will give that a look as well in today's analysis of Haas's new livery mostly, but also we'll look at the front wing as well in today's stream. But I do have someone with me to go through this reveal as ever. Niblo, how are you doing, mate?
I'm doing well, mate. How are you doing?
Very well, and I can't wait to get into this. I couldn't really sleep that much last night because even though it's a livery reveal, basically, just seeing something, 2019 themed, I couldn't wait. But now we're basically going to get into it. And let's look at the first picture of the new Haas livery. Now, I will show some different angles in a moment, but I will say with the Haas livery that I wouldn't say I'm disappointed, but it doesn't look as good as I thought it would. And I will get into that as we go through some more pictures, but it doesn't look as, it doesn't look as good as I thought it was going to be with this new car. And I'll just scroll down a moment because this is actually a double-ended picture. I'll just scroll down like that and show you guys more of the rear end. This whole rear end, by the way, is a 2018 rear end, I believe. But yeah, the livery to me, it doesn't look as good as I really thought it would be. And I think, Nib, you said to me just before we came on, and you can share your thoughts now. I think you said it was, too dark a color, I think you said.
Yeah, I think there's way too much black on this car. It's almost an entirely black car, except for the little gold stripes and then the gold rich energy on the car. It is a very, very black car, and quite honestly, I'm very disappointed by this livery. It's just very basic, like Haas's livery have been over the past couple of years. Although it's something different, which is always nice to see, I think this will grow old on me pretty quickly. I'm not too sure about you, but yeah, I'm not too big of a fan.
Yeah, I get what you mean by it. It's not really that, the theme of the livery, it's not massively inspired by their new sponsor, because there are only certain parts of the car which actually have this golden look to it. Most of the car is basically black, and yeah, it just doesn't look as good as I thought it would. But I will say, and we'll get into this in a moment, guys, I do think this is better than, say, the livery they had a couple years ago or something like that. But we will get onto that later on in this video. But let me also show this image. Now, the front wing, I want to get into that before we talk more about the livery. The front wing, and it's been confirmed by Ted Kravitz, who is at the official reveal event in London, that the front wing is a 2019 front wing. Now, as you can see here, there is still a bit of confusion as to whether this picture they put on their Twitter before they actually unveiled the car in person. There is slight confusion as to whether this front wing is the 2019 front wing, but it looks as though it is, and I think it is. So, looking at it, you can see what what Formula One, what Liberty Media were kind of going with in terms of they wanted simpler front wings, because compared to last year's front wings, this looks not massively more simple, but it definitely is more simple because there's no added bits to, the parts of the front wing. It's very defined the certain areas of the front wing. It's not as detailed as the front wing was back in 2018 or even 2017. So you can see the more simple front wings. You can see that. Then, but again, I will say they aren't massively more simple. They are still a bit complicated, as you can see on your screen. And Nib, I know we haven't had an absolute ton of time to look at it, but say as a first impression, what do you think of that new 2019 front wing?
Well, of course, we've seen Williams Force India, well, Racing Point, Formula. What am I even saying? Formerly, Force India had ran the 2019 or a sort of 2019 wing in Hungary testing in the mid-season break. Um, yeah, I, I this front wing is certainly a lot more simpler. There's no cascade elements. Of course, they are completely gone. So it is a lot more simpler. Obviously, there is still a lot of levels to that. I think you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's still 5 actual elements to the front wing. But I am not a fan of these front wings. They are too wide. Of course, the front wings have been increased in size from about halfway in the front tires to the edge of the front tires, which I am not a fan of. I've never been a big fan, but yeah, I am very excited with these new front wings. I hope it will create a lot more interesting racing, as there won't be as much front end grip now with the cars, but there will still be a lot of rear end grip. So hopefully that will create some better racing in what is the upcoming season, which does start in just over 5 weeks' time now.
Yeah, very, very exciting times. And I also, whilst you were talking about the front wing, I did notice that the front wing looks massive compared to the 2018 front wings, for example. It does look quite big. So yeah, that doesn't look great, but at the end of the day, if we get better racing, I don't think we'll really care. I mean, the 2012 cars, for example, didn't look that good at all. They were possibly one of the worst looking generation of F1 cars ever, but they produced great racing. So even though the front wing in terms of looks doesn't look amazing, as long as it gives us great racing, if it does, which I'm not sure it will yet, we'll have to see. I think they're going to make all that downforce back anyway. Hopefully it does give us closer racing. That's all we're asking for in 2019. But before, guys, we go on to comparing the new livery to Haas's livery over the past couple of years, I just want to come to the chat and also the comment section to see what you guys think of this new livery, and hear your opinions about this rich energy Haas 2019 livery. So let me know in the chat right now. And also, just to let you guys know, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this, as during next week I will be going live after every car reveal during next week. So don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. You can either do it bottom right of the screen, you can click subscribe right there, or click on my channel name, go to the channel page and subscribe to the channel. But right, let's take a look at a few of your comments, and then we'll go on to comparing it to past liveries, and how does it look compared to, say, the 2018 livery, 2017 livery, stuff like that. So let's take a look at some comments. I just saw someone there saying, anonymous, I hate everything, it's boring. I wouldn't say it's boring. I think previous Haas liveries have been boring, but this livery isn't as good as I thought it was going to be. And it was basically teased as the Lotus livery coming back, but this doesn't really have anything really Lotus about it except for the slight gold bits on certain parts of the car. It's not really anything like, say, the Lotus of, back in 2012 or 2013. Right, let me go through some more. Nature says it's okay, but not as hyped as everyone else is, I think he's trying to say. Mario Master says, I like it, a bit underwhelming, but still like it. Haas logo should be gold. Also, the race suits I really like. I haven't seen those yet. I will try to take a look at those as soon as I can. Eric says, love the gold mirrors. Yeah, just noticing that now. Right, let me make sure I include some more. Someone else says, there needs to be more gold and the gold should be a little brighter. Yeah, that's another thing. It's not gold enough. It's not bright enough, as you just said in the chat. Right, let me just find a couple more if I can. Mario Master, the front looks nice. Everything else is just 2018 car in black. Again, as we said when we came on, if you're just joining us, this Haas car you're seeing here, the only 2019 things about it is the... did you want to say something there, Nib?
Yes, in this image that we are currently showing on screen is indeed the CGI of the new Haas car. So this is indeed the new Haas car on screen. The one that was launched in London with the new livery was the 2018 car with a modified 2019 front wing. So this image on screen is indeed the new Haas car.
So what, the completely new car or just the front wing?
The complete new car. This is the new Haas VF-19.
Right, okay. So, now that you've said that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to scroll up. Again, sorry about the confusion, but there was confusion whilst I was setting this stream up as to whether this was the new car or not, because they released it on Twitter in this CGI render and then revealed it also at the same time in public in London. So there was a bit of confusion. So again, you can see there the front wing. Now, one thing I've noticed, I don't know if it's the color scheme, but you don't really notice the barge boards, do you? Around here,
No.
they're not really that noticeable anymore. On last year's cars, they were so noticeable on the side of the car; they stuck out like a sore thumb. So yeah, you don't really notice them on this car. And also, if I just scroll down again, you can see there the rear wing is you can notice it being higher, which I think it is for this year, isn't it? It's higher
Yep.
this year. And if I just let me just see if I scroll back up again, if I can notice, I think you can kind of on this top image, you can notice that it is wider, but not. It's not a dramatically wider rear wing, but you can notice it a bit on the rear wing there. And also, hold on a minute. Let me just go back to this image. Weren't you saying, Nib, before we came on? Did you notice something about the side pods on this car?
Yeah, it looks like they have deliberately left some detail of the barge boards out, and I'm sure that we will be seeing them in Barcelona, and that was a common theme through most of the car launches last year. A lot of teams were leaving a lot of detail off for the initial launch, but then we've seen it all packed on straight away at the first test in Barcelona. But there are a couple of things that I want to mention, which I've seen on Twitter from Autosport's Toby Gruner. So if you just go back to the last picture on screen, the side on screen where you can see the front right tire. If you can just go to that picture.
Is it that? I think it is. Don't know if you're
Well,
seeing it on
I've just
screen or
got to wait.
not.
Yes, that picture. Now I'm not sure if you guys can see, but there is a little slotted gap in the wheel hub. So this is a new
Hmm.
little design that Haas have come up with, so that the air is blown through small little slots in the tire rim. I'm not sure if you guys will be able to see that, but if you go on Twitter, you guys will be able to see what people are talking about. So that's a nice little innovation there by Haas. But yeah, there is certainly a new couple of things on this car. This is why people have sort of realised that this is indeed the new car and not the last year's car, because there are significant changes on this car compared to the last.
I think if you look now, I've just zoomed in a bit. I think you can notice it a bit more now on
Yep.
that wheel. And when you were talking about it there, is that sounds similar to the Mercedes wheel hub from last year? I think that's what Mercedes were doing with their wheel hubs.
A little bit similar.
Yeah,
A little bit similar, but not exactly like what they were like Mercedes were doing.
Yeah.
Similar idea.
Yeah, and coming into this season, I think I can't remember who said it exactly, but someone said that you're going to see a lot of teams try that wheel hub innovation that Mercedes came up with. They're going to try that and further develop it, or try and do it in a slightly different way. So it looks as though Haas have gone for that on their car. Right, let me try and read out some more comments if I can, and then we will go on to comparing this to the old liveries in the past couple years. And yet Tom Tao confirming that this is the CGI render of the new car. That's exactly what Haas did last year. They revealed their new 2018 car like this. Right, let me just take a look. I wish it had black wheels. Brake dust should help. The front wing is way wider. It is. It really is, and you can notice it. Hold on a minute. I'll go to this one, this picture. Again, you can notice it. It is bigger and it is wider. But that is, again, to help the airflow of the front wing aerodynamics, to limit the outwash, and to improve these cars following other cars. Whether they will actually do that or not, I don't know. I really don't know. But the front wing, in terms of looks, again, it doesn't look amazing, but I don't really care how the front wing looks in terms of looks. I don't really care. As long as it provides closer racing, that's all that matters. But I will say, I do like how it does look simpler than last year's front wings, because last year's were getting a bit ridiculous, but that's what teams do when they have a freer reign of developing the aero on their car. Right, let me just look at a couple more. Sam says, clever Haas hiding a lot because they copy what Ferrari normally do. Yeah, I think I just saw a comment as well saying the 2019 Haas equals the 2018 Ferrari. We'll see. We'll see when it comes to that. Jeremy Pope, the front wings are boring. In terms of detail, yeah, but I don't think the front wings should be massively detailed, because I think racing, close racing should be prioritized when it comes to that. Simon Cragland, I like. I'm not sure if he's saying I like the front wing, but he says the front wing look a bit like a shield, but I have seen uglier front wings. The ugliest front wings were 2014 and probably 2012 as well, in my opinion. This looks nowhere near as bad, but it's not as good looking as, say, last year's. But anyway, I think now we will move on to comparing this to the past liveries of the Haas car in the last couple years. So first off, this is the 2016 livery. Also, you can see how much the cars have changed in what, 3 years. So you can just see the differences. And also when it comes to livery, now the 2016 Haas livery wasn't as bad as I think some people said it was. I didn't mind it that much, but it could have been a lot better. And it definitely wasn't one of the best on the grid. It was at the back when it comes to best looking liveries. And yeah, it wasn't great, but you have to remember it was their first season. You can't expect them to come out with an amazing livery straight away. And then this was their 2017 livery. Now, in my opinion, their 2017 livery is their worst livery that they've come up with. And I don't think this livery, by the way, is anywhere near as good as the new livery for 2019. This is their worst livery they've ever come up with. I thought this was terrible. Just terrible colour scheme. Hopefully they never go back to something like that. And then here is the 2018 livery, which was basically the 2016 and 17 liveries kind of put together. And it did improve the livery, but it could have been improved upon, in my opinion, still at that time. But also, I'll just, as we're on the old car, the 2018 car, I'll just zoom in a bit. Compare the difference in front wings. So you can see there, this is the Haas car back at Hockenheim. Look at the difference in detail between the 2018 front wing, this is midway through 2018, and the 2019 front wing. So you can see there, the 2018 front wing, way more detail compared to the front wing we've seen today. And then I think, actually, hold on a minute. Let me just bring this picture back. So, and now you can see the difference. So look how much simpler that front wing is compared to this, or not that front wing, compared to this front wing. The 2018 front wings had way more detail and were basically designed so furiously to get as much aerodynamics out of the front of the car. And this is what caused cars, not only 2018, but also back in 2017, not being able to follow as well as they really should. And now you see the 2019 front wing, sorry, a lot more simpler. And also you can notice that it is quite a bit wider. But and I'll just throw up this side picture of the new Haas car. Nib, compared to the 2016, 2017 and 2018 liveries for Haas, how does the 2019 Haas livery compare? Do you think this is the best livery Haas have ever had?
I mean, I think this is their best livery they've had. It's still very, very bland, especially from this side-on shot that we are seeing on screen now. It is still a very bland car design, or not car design, livery design. It looks awful. I'm going to be honest with you. I am absolutely not a fan of this. They have got away here with just slapping some black and gold on the car. They haven't put really any effort into it, and you know, everyone was comparing it. Oh, it's going to be like Lotus. This has got absolutely nothing on the Lotus. That 2012 Lotus was absolutely incredible, as in terms of its livery design. But this is awful. This is cheap and nasty, in my opinion. I am, I am not a fan whatsoever. But just going back onto the mention of the wheel hubs here, it is going to be very important for Haas that they are able to manage their tyre temperatures a lot better in this coming season. It's something that they struggled with a lot in the 2018 season, especially at tracks like Singapore, where they were only able to manage their tyres to last for 10 laps. So it's certainly going to be a very important area of the car for Haas this year to manage their tyres better and to just make them last longer. So it's going to be an important area for all of the teams this year, but especially for the American outfit.
Yeah, that's definitely an important thing they need to work on for 2019 for sure. And when it comes to what you just said about the livery, I agree. The more I look at it, the more I think, you know what, it's not really that good at all. It's, as you said, it's very bland. They basically just painted the car black and then just added some gold to it. It's not that special, to be honest. If you look side on, it's not that good. I've seen plenty of people on Twitter before I started the live stream saying how great it was. I don't see how great it is. I'm sorry, I don't see it. It's a mostly black car with some slight gold bits of the car. It's not that special, and as Nib said, it has nothing on not only the 2012 Lotus, but any Lotus type livery that features black and gold. So it's better than their previous liveries, in my opinion, but that doesn't mean it's good, because it's not like their 2016, 2017, or 2018 liveries were that good. So yeah, they could have done better with this. I think they could have gone a bit more Lotus-like. They probably could not have gone like a full Lotus livery, because there might be some copyright issues with that. But I think they could have done better. I really think they could have done better with this. But again, guys, let me know in the chat what you think of the past Haas liveries and how they compare to the new 2019 livery, and also comment further about the new parts of the 2019 car and what your opinion is of the 2019 Haas. Let me know in the chat and in the comments section right now. And again, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. We will be doing car reveals during next week and going live straight after those. But right, let's take a look at some more comments. And probably what we're going to do, guys, is answer some of your comments for the next 5 to 6 or even 7 minutes, something like that. And then we're probably going to come to the end of this stream. Annette says, I hate the grey, it looks like undercoat. Nation, I thought he was going to zoom into the Ferrari in the background. Right, let me just look at some comments. Formula One fan says, I agree, it is bland and thrown together. It kind of, if you look at it, it kind of seems rushed, really, because I mean, it's not hard for them to spray paint the car black and then add some some gold parts of the car. They could have done better with the time they had. I think they could have, because you have to remember the new sponsor deal with Rich Energy came in at the end of October, so it's not like it was a new deal that they had to kind of rush in. They had plenty of time to come up with this, but yeah, not as good as I was expecting, and the more I look at it, the more I'm kind of disappointed, to be honest. Right, Troman 5000 says Haas should be in gold and it would be kick-ass. I'd love to see a gold car or a proper black and gold car like a Lotus. This is a mostly black car with some gold parts of it. Andrew Drury, I don't know who that sponsor on the rear wing is, but their logo looks bleep. It says Peak. I've never heard of that sponsor, so it must be an American one, but I've never heard of them. And yeah, that sponsor on that rear wing, it doesn't look that good, to be honest. So I pretty much agree. Nature says, as from the side view, they have not been creative with their new Rich Energy partnership and stuck Rich Energy logos or logo over their car only. Yeah, they haven't really been that creative. They haven't. they could have done a bit more here. They really could have. Shame about the thumb nose. Wish teams would go for a Mercedes type front nose. Let me try and... Yeah, as you can see there, yeah. I think the Mercedes front wing is probably the best looking from, say, last year. I don't like the thumb nose either, but that's just the way the teams do it. Right, I'll read out a few more, and then we will come to the end of this stream. Naveen says, or asks, will the car look different in Melbourne? In terms of the livery, I don't think it will, but when it comes to aerodynamic pieces on the car, it will look massively different compared from right now, or even the first day of testing, compared to once we get to the Australian Grand Prix. So it's going to look massively different when it comes to stuff like that. Hold on a minute. Let me just try to find the best comments I can. There's plenty of comments from you guys, so thank you for coming along to see the new Haas livery. I'll just ask you now, because I'm seeing some other people talking about the thumb noses. Nib, what do you think about the noses? Do you prefer, say, the Mercedes type nose, or the thumb type nose?
I'm really not too bothered in terms of the thumb nose or the Mercedes nose. I will agree, though, the Mercedes nose does absolutely look the best out of any on the grid. You know, the thumb nose is just, yeah, it's quite awful to look at. But oh well, that's just what's most effective for the teams to use. But I do have a little bit of news on that Peak sponsorship on the rear wing end plate. They are a coolant and anti-freeze provider, so they've got partnership with Haas for this season.
Okay, thanks for letting me know. I had no idea who they were, so thanks for letting me know that. Sam says, I wish they colour in the USA flag. Plus, nice to see the halo coloured. I'm wondering there is no rabbit on the car. That's another thing. I don't think they did. No, they didn't. But then again, actually, the halo was black anyway. So I don't think they actually have made a colour difference when it comes to the halo. So I think they've left that. Because the halo last year was black. Some teams decided to make it the same colour as their car, like Ferrari did. But then some other teams decided to leave it black. Spider Monkey says Racing Point is going to be blue and pink. We'll have to see when it comes to that. I do think Williams are probably not going to be white anymore. I think Williams, when they do reveal their car, whenever that is, I think their car, by the looks of it, if you look at the sponsors they now have, now that Martini have gone, I think they actually might have a blue car for 2019. But don't quote me on that, because I don't know. But I think they might have a blue car for 2019. Annette says, I hope they spent the money they saved on the livery on car development. Yeah, hopefully they have. Halam899 says they had 4 to 5 months to make it. Exactly. They had plenty of time to come up with an interesting enough concept. And it does seem a bit rushed. Maybe they've been focusing a lot more, and they really should, to be honest, be focusing a lot more on, you know, getting the right aero pieces on the car, making sure it all works properly in the CFD and stuff like that. So maybe they've been concentrating on that more than the color scheme. But yeah, there you go. Sam says, I wish McLaren go back to the silver livery. That livery was the best. I wish they would, but I don't think they really can, because one of the late 90s and early 2000s was because of a cigarette sponsor, and I don't think they're actually going to do that. Tom Tao says Williams announced a new sponsor, some sportswear company. I don't know if it's a big enough deal to change the car color. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. Yeah, we'll see what happens when they finally announce when they're going to reveal their car. By the way, don't be surprised if Williams end up revealing their car, say, either tomorrow or this weekend, because if they don't reveal it at the first test, it's most likely going to be before the end of this week. So don't be surprised if you see a Williams car, the 2019 car, floating around somewhere on Twitter. Hello to Joseph Hernandez. Great to see you here. Andrew Drury, Force India came up with the pink livery in just a few weeks. The Force India pink livery for me was... I actually quite liked it. I think I liked it a lot more than other people did. But right, I'll read out a couple more comments, guys, and then we will come to the end of this stream. By the way, thank you for coming along and, yeah, checking out the new 2019 Haas car. Mario Master, the rear wing also doesn't have the little slots on the side or whatever it's called. There was a word for it. I can't remember what it's called though. Those little slots that you're talking about. Andrew Drury, I think they hyped this way too much. Yeah, I think they did. I think people got way too overhyped. One, because they thought it was going to be like the Lotus. And two, I think because it's the first car reveal, people thought that it was going to be something spectacular. But it's great to see the 2019 car, but in terms of the livery, again, I think they could have done better. Chazza, what about midfield preview video for pre-season? That is coming soon. I will get onto that in just a moment. Right, let me just find one more question and then I will come to the end of the stream. And it is Halam899. What colour do you think the McLaren will be for 2019? I think it is going to be the same colour it was for 2018, but I don't think there'll be as much blue on the car as there was for 2018. Nib, do you think the 2019 McLaren will be the same colour as the 2018 car?
Well, yeah, they've basically already spoiled what colour their car's going to be for this season. So yeah, it's definitely going to be orange. But it remains to see what other colours are going to be on it.
Yep, we'll see when it comes to that. Also, I've just retitled the stream because it's now clear that this is basically the new 2019 Haas car. But Nib, thanks for coming along to this, I wouldn't say rushed video or stream, but it was great to have you along and analyse this first car of 2019.
Yep, thanks, mate. It's always good to be on these live streams with you, and hopefully we have some more exciting liveries to come in the coming days.
Yep, hopefully we do. And again, thanks, mate, for coming along. Now, let me just move to this. I just want to let you guys know of the schedule of content coming for the rest of this week. So, when it comes to tomorrow, there is a 50-50 chance that there will be a video tomorrow, another pre-season preview that will be previewing Renault, McLaren, and Racing Point. But at the moment, it's 50-50 as to whether it'll be out tomorrow. It will be out for sure before pre-season testing starts, but it might be out tomorrow, but it also might not. We'll have to see. But then on Saturday, me and Nib will be going live for the podcast at 3 PM UK time, where, guys, we are going to be talking about Valtteri Bottas and his very, very important and even career-defining 2019. And then if there is enough news, I will do This Week in F1 on Sunday. And then during next week, guys, will be the car reveals. And at least next week, for most of the car reveals, we will know that they are actually the 2019 car. And it's not, you know, a mystery as to whether it's actually the new car or it's just the livery. So that is what's coming up, guys, on the channel very, very soon. And again, guys, thank you for coming along and checking out the new 2019 Haas car. Don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. We will be covering all of the car reveals live on the channel during next week especially. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more content like this. On the bottom right of the screen, you can do it right there, or click on my channel name, go to the channel page and subscribe to the channel. Like this video, comment down below what you thought of this video and what you think of the new Haas livery and the way the 2019 cars look. Also, don't forget to join our Discord server, link below in the description. That's the best way to get notifications for my videos. Also as well, I forgot to mention, hit the notifications bell for the channel for notifications for my videos. And as well, don't forget to follow me on Twitter at Chaz6110 and check out my website chazahd.com for more content like this. But until my next video, guys, and the next car reveal, it's been me, ChazzaHD. Goodbye.